My screen's frozen. There we go. Welcome back to the Honest Sooners podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Craig.
And this is the Honest Sooners. So, before we get started, how was your vacation?
Vacation from hell. I will never go on another cruise ship, so nobody needs to even ask me anymore. I'm done with them.
What happened?
Done. Well, I mean, we started off with almost killed your mom in a car wreck because pulled out in front of somebody. That was the morning before we got on the ship. And then the first 2 days were great. And then after that, it was just a nightmare. Motion sickness, dizziness, didn't feel right. Your mom got sick too. So it was just no fun. I don't know how people do them.
Easy. It's relaxing.
No, there's just, I don't understand how relaxing it is when you have all this, like Aubrey said, get your little sheet out, and it was nothing but trivia, or we did play bingo, which shockingly, your mom's never played bingo, she said.
I've never played it either.
So that really shocked me. So we played, and the first night, I think it was, that they had it. So we did that, but I mean, there just wasn't enough stuff to do on a boat that was worth it to me. I mean, the food wasn't that great this time, I don't think, on the buffet. I hate how they make you sit with people you don't know. I'm not on vacation to meet people. I'm on vacation to relax with my spouse, and that's it. I don't want to chit-chat with somebody else at a dinner table, and that really ticked me off.
It's to save room.
But still, I don't want to do that. That should be an option for me. I mean, I was shocked. I was not happy about that either. So, anyways, I will about 99.9% sure I will not ever get back on a cruise ship again.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a yes, Dumb and Dumber chance, yes.
You just got done telling me there's not a chance to tell me there is a chance.
It would take, you know, if I did another one, I would have to say it would probably be maybe a 4 or 5 nighter. I will never do another 8, 7, 6. That has to be short and sweet.
See, I'm not.
And so,
I'm not getting on a boat unless it's a minimum 7 day.
And we were on the bottom floor. Anyways, it just wasn't fun. And when I know your mom didn't have fun either, because she almost overheated, we had to call medical for her. And so I know it wasn't just me that was getting motion sickness. And your mom doesn't get motion sickness, but she did again. So this is 2 times in a row for her. So I know it wasn't just me, but I'm glad to be back. I mean, it was 9 nights away. I think it was total. So, I mean, like I said, it's cool to jump to island and stuff like that, but it's just cruise ships aren't for me. So, send me to Vegas.
Yeah, I like going to Vegas too, but
or send me to the beach and let me just lay out on the beach and I'll be good.
I will say,
go to Mexico. Fly to Mexico.
Vegas is not a relaxing vacation.
No, because there is a lot of walking in Vegas.
A lot of walking. You're like me and you. We like to gamble, so our hearts racing.
Yeah.
It's not very relaxing of a vacation.
Yeah, it's relaxing to me.
It's like Disney World.
Yeah, true. Disney World's a lot of work too.
Yeah.
Well, Disney World is a lot of work. But anyways, glad to be back. So, how was your week?
It was good. Went to the
job change.
Yeah, did change jobs. Been a lot more tired from that, learning everything new, and then went to the OU game on Saturday. Did you happen to get to watch the OU game?
I have not watched the game. I've seen highlights, but
goodness.
I have totally been.
How can we get an honest opinion from a guy that hasn't even watched the game yet?
Well, I'm trusting you with your honest opinion on how we looked, and
I've already
I
watched.
just,
I've watched it twice. I watched it live, and then I came home and watched it the
I
next day.
just have been worn out since we have been gone, and I'm still feeling the motion of the ship for some reason. That's driving me crazy too. So I've been getting up at sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, having to sit in the chair because I feel movement. So and not feeling well from it. So, but I did see some highlights. But so, what's your main take?
Well, before we get in that, I know you mentioned mom, so let's get into our ad break.
Oh yes, that's a good point.
This podcast is sponsored by Artistry Lash and Brow Bar.
Brow bar.
We should, we're 8 months into this.
I know.
We just need an ad read. We need her to write something down that we can just.
Well, she did have one. What happened to it?
That was you. She didn't like the way that it sounded, so she wanted to redo it, and I haven't had the chance to redo it.
Well, we need to have her redo it.
But for the thing we use Riverside. It won't let me mash that into the YouTube one. So, anyways, Artistry Lash and
Brow bar.
Lash and Brow Bar. So get your lashes. What else do they do? Spray tans,
brows, facials. The women love those lashes. So
yeah. So
give them a call.
Check that out. And then also we are have a family of podcasters at this point. My mom does have a podcast called Lash to Death. So if you're into true crime, please check out her podcast. They are kind of shorter episodes. I think she's going to try to lean into longer episodes, but I believe she only has one episode out right now.
One or two.
And that is called Lash to Death.
She does a great job.
She does. I wouldn't be shocked if her podcast takes off way faster and bigger than ours. So,
well, I mean,
she has a broader audience.
Well, just watching yours by yourself, she finally said, "Now Zach knows how it is to try to do a podcast by yourself."
It was tough. I hated every minute of it.
Yeah, it is.
Every minute of it, and I thought to myself, because this podcast honestly was tough for me at first in the beginning. You remember our first episode? I'm sitting there. I pressed play. How many times did I press play?
Yeah.
To start it, and I backed out just to read the intro.
Yeah.
And so I was going into this thinking I can do it, no problems now. We do one take every single time now. I did probably 15 takes of. I'd get 20 minutes into the podcast, and that episode was only 20 minutes. I'd get 20 minutes into it, and then I would mess up, and I would immediately log back off. It's hard when you're talking to yourself.
It is.
It is. I don't know how people do it, but all right. So, OU football. Honest opinion, not a lot happened. It wasn't.
Start with. I know other people were there, or some of our audience, whoever listens, maybe wasn't there. You have told me several times how cool the atmosphere was. So start there for me. I mean, when you get there.
Yeah, so the Walk of Champions, we got there pretty early. So Thea Aubrey went with me, and Thea left our house pretty early. So I told Aubrey, I was like, let's get down there as early.
So wait a minute, Thea went too?
No, Thea went. Oh. Thea went to a zoo thing, and so I was like, let's get down there early. Like we're like not in a rush, but like let's get down there early and just take in all the sights. Because me and you get there typically about 2.5 hours before kickoff, but me and you are going into the stadium and watching the warm-ups and stuff. I was like, let's get down there early and let's enjoy all the pregame stuff. So we got there, we checked out the Ref sports talk show. We went into the shops, ran into Teddy Lehman and Toby Rowland doing their show in one of the stores. That was pretty cool. I walk in and Teddy Lehman's just standing right there with his headset on, and he's not sitting, Toby's sitting, but Teddy Lehman's standing and walking back and forth the store. And it really threw me off, and everybody else was, calm and, just walking by. But honestly, I really just wanted to grab a chair and sit there and see it in person. And, because you hear him on the radio all the time, you watched him play. But seeing him, just seeing both of them, I just wanted to sit there and like, hey, can you give me a mic? Let me jump in,
Yeah, let me have some fun with
let me
this.
talk. And but that was cool. And then we ended up walking down to the stadium and to meet my father and mother-in-law, and they were wanting to go to Walk of Champions, and we've never been to the Walk of Champions. That's where the players come in off the bus. And what I heard from last year is that the players were dropped off at gate 13. I mean, pulled all the way up to gate 13, the Switzer Center, and would walk right in off the bus right there. Well, this one, they stopped at the end of the street and let them walk all the way up the street. And the energy level from them was, I mean, great. What I've heard from the past is they would walk in, no handshakes, no high fives, heads down, just walking in. I mean, I sent you a video. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I'll post it to our Facebook and Twitter page. I took a video, and you got players that are like, I'm over there, just fanning out and saying, let's go. And you got players that are looking me in the eye, just shaking their head like, let's go. We're going to get it. And Brent Venables has his hands into the crowd, high-fiving everyone at one time. I mean, it was a pretty cool experience to get that or to see that. And then we went into the stadium, and it was hot.
Yeah,
I got chills with the opening video, and it was loud at first. And I don't blame people. I got kind of irritated on Twitter because I opened it up and people were bashing all the fans that left early. And I just want to make a PSA announcement. People were not just leaving early. People were getting carted off. I mean, stretchered off from the tops over and over again. I mean, I saw countless people. You walked downstairs and you saw people laying on the ground. Ambulances were taken off. The people on the bikes, the officers on the bikes were running through. You had carts, driving through. Like, it was like if you went down low during the game, it was something like out of a war zone. I mean, people were just laying there. Cops were helping people. People were getting stretchered off. It was hot. It was every bit of that 110. And we're in section 24, which is the northeast end zone. The very, very, very
never
last
gets shade.
Very, very, very last people to get shade. If you go to the game on Saturday, you will see section 24. We will not get shade until probably 7:30.
Yeah, I saw it's supposed to be 92.
It might be the second half before we get shade. So, and it's hard for, like, don't get me wrong, student section has probably sucked for a while. I will agree with that. And I don't want to call out, like, necessarily the students, but a lot of the times they leave at half no matter what the weather is. But it's hard to not blame them when we're bringing in, Kent State, and we're bringing in UTEP, and we're bringing in Kansas, and like, I get it. We want the players to play really well against those teams and not over. But when you're up by, it's 28-10 at half, and you've moved the ball like with no problems, and you've got 4 sacks already. It's just like.
I thought the arm in arm thing kind of gave me goosebumps when I saw that.
But me and you saw that at the spring game.
I remember seeing it, but I didn't know they were going to keep it.
They're going to do it every game.
So when I saw it, I was like, man,
it got me fired up. I mean, I got me fired up, and then of course the intro video got me fired up, and they took care of business, and they took care of business in a different way. I felt like,
yes.
Even though it was vanilla on offense, it was kind of nice to see that we could get the job done against a team like that by just being vanilla on offense.
Right.
We didn't need to do anything special. They played their game. The defense played their game. And we, like I said, it wasn't flashy. It was not something that we're going to see on ESPN and they're freaking out that OU's the number 1 team. Because we didn't need to.
Right.
We didn't need to go out there and be flashy. And it was nice to see. It might have been a little underwhelming because of how much hype we had going into it, but and that might be how I felt at first, and being a little underwhelming, but not in a bad way. Not that they underperformed, but in a good way that we didn't have to see the
Well, it wasn't like the
we didn't have to see
start of
the
last year.
yeah, we didn't have to see the trick plays. We didn't have a nail biter. We didn't have, I was happy from I looked at Aubrey, she got mad at me for this. I looked at her right before kickoff and I said, Aubrey, this is the happiest I ever am is right now. Because typically after kickoff, there's something's gonna happen where I'm not gonna be as happy about the football season ever again. So
Yeah, and like I said last year, we were 28-point favorites, 30s, whatever we were, like we were
and we
this
won
time.
by
and
5.
We barely won. I mean,
It
so
came down to an onside kick.
yeah. So defensive wise, who did somebody stand out to you, or
Well, Reggie Grimes looked great, 2.5 sacks. I honestly, and I watched Coach's Corner too, and they agreed with this, or they said it, but I'd already, had said it, and I agree with it. Reggie Grimes, I was shocked when I went to go look it up, and he only had 2.5 sacks. Felt like he was back.
because he was all over the field.
He was back there every play, and I thought I personally counted 3 sacks, but apparently one of them was a half sack. But I thought, he was back there all day, and it was not anything other than just pure physical dominance on it. I mean, it wasn't. He didn't have to move around, and that's what it is. Not Kent State with UTEP, you shouldn't have to, but they did. They bullied him, him and what's his name, Downs. I mean, Ethan Downs looked good too. I think our corners. I think it's just the way that they're playing. I think the corners come down to not letting anything behind you.
So do you think Venables kind of, not really, I hate using the word vanilla for defense wise, but he kind of made it to where he's not going to show everything yet either.
It could have been. It was very much. You remember that year with the Dallas Cowboys? Can't remember what it was, but they always said we had the bend don't break defense. And our defense was not great. We didn't have any stars on that defensive team, but for some reason, anytime that teams got into the red zone that year, we stopped them. We let them get into the 20 by that. We gave up no big plays. We let them inch by inch, but it was a bend don't break defense. That's kind of how it felt with our defensive backs in this. It was we're gonna let them. We're gonna keep everything in front of us, and I think there was a lot of hesitation with some of the plays. I forgot who it was, but it was a down the middle throw, and our guy, and it was probably a 15-yard throw, 15-yard throw, and our guy waited on him to catch it, and it wasn't a bullet. Like he could have, I felt like, and he was standing right behind him.
He could have jumped it.
I felt like he could have jumped it, swatted away, but he waited waited for him to jump in the way, or he waited for the person to catch it and then he tackled him. So I think he's just keeping everything in front of you at the moment.
So linebackers, defensive backs, corners.
I think everybody looked good except for, the defensive backs to me didn't look great. If there was room for improvement it's still the defensive backs. They look better though. Everyone's tackling. There was no big plays given up. There was no.
So our tackling was better, and we showed more. Trying to think of that word I'm looking for, but more dominant to the point where they're hitting and tackling instead of just whiffing and arm tackling and all that crap that we've had.
Yeah, and there's accountability for it too.
Physical. That's what I'm looking for.
They missed blocks, or not blocks. They missed a few tackles, and I was looking, over there to see Brent Venables, and he's already on the field. He's already on the field yelling at him, all that stuff. But I think that the coverage part of the defensive backs was a little weak, but when it was caught, they were tackled. I mean, immediately and swarmed. You had 3-4 guys on them, and like I said, no big run play was given up. They only averaged a yard per carry, I think.
That's going to be good for OU because that's like I think you told me earlier in the week that's our main focus is, or I think I saw it on Venables saying, our main focus is stop the run first,
Yeah.
which is good because that's the way it's supposed to be. So running backs, Gray seemed to look pretty good, and Majors looked pretty good too to me. Just some of the highlights I saw.
Yeah, I think Gray's problem, and if you watch the game, I think you'll say the same thing because I think Gray's problem. And it's easy for us to say because we see the hole from where we're at, right? Or we see the move that he's supposed to make. So he hits the hole. He hits the hole hard. I think when he has that one-on-one with someone, he doesn't make the right choice. And that happened a couple of times where he's running downfield and he's one-on-one, and you're like, keep going. Just keep going straight, and you can beat him. And he cuts back into him. And I also didn't see a.
So is Gray more physical than Majors? Because Majors looks a little bit more faster, quicker.
I don't think.
To me, from what I saw, but I could be wrong.
Besides Javonte Barnes on that big hit that he delivered, the third string running back where he fumbled it. I don't know if you saw that hit that he laid. There wasn't a lot of running over or big pops, and I don't think that was by design. I just don't think it happened. There wasn't a chance for them to.
Yeah, they don't look like that type of backs.
Yeah, so they didn't. There was no running over now,
except for Freeman.
Yeah, he took a hit. Spun out of it. 1 for 1.
Spun out of it.
1 for 1. I mean,
and took it to the house.
If I was him, I'd just quit now.
That was awesome.
1 carry, 1 touchdown. You're averaging, what was it, a 43-yard carry? 45?
Because he took a nice little hit, too, and spun out of it, and then took it to the house.
It was like a 43-yard carry for a touchdown. So he's averaging, per carry, he's averaging 43 yards and a touchdown per carry. So
yeah.
What else that I thought was nice, if you may not have got to see this on the replays, we're returning kickoffs and we're returning punts. And
good.
He didn't return all the punts, but we returned a lot of kickoffs. And Billy Bowman returned a lot of them, and he looked great. We got it to the 25, 30 a couple of times.
So Bowman's returning the kicks and punts?
Just kickoff. Marvin Mims is our punt returner.
Okay. Was Gray? Wasn't he back
I
there
only
too?
saw Marvin Mims personally. I didn't, when they're
on a kickoff.
On kickoff.
I thought I saw Gray.
He might have been out there. I just saw that Bowman.
But yeah, I mean, because we would always look at each other last year and shake our heads like,
especially OU Texas.
It's fair catch every time. And they had 20 yards in front of them.
OU Texas was on the kickoffs. Me and you were getting frustrated because against OU Texas, and I know we ended up winning, but we needed a spark, and sometimes that spark comes from a kick return. And it doesn't have to be to go for a touchdown, but a kick return where he returns it to the 35, 40, can be that spark for that offense to come out and go score. And I like seeing the kickoff returns.
So radar quarterback.
Wait, hold on. Marvin Mims did get lit up after he called the fair catch. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no. I didn't.
Yeah, he called the fair catch, and the guy plowed him. I mean.
Wow. Flag.
Yeah. I mean, did no breaks.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised there wasn't a fight after that.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that there wasn't more.
Because that's the most sturdiest play I think you can have in any football, really, is demolish a guy that's fair catch.
I did hear that Mims called the fair catch really early. Almost like I was get downstairs getting water for Aubrey and me, and I heard it over there. But then I heard Toby Rowland say that he called it fairly early for the fair catch. So is it a dirty play? Yes. Maybe the guy really just didn't see it because you don't see that a lot in football, that blatant in football where someone's running down there and just going to kill someone, But
right.
Yeah. So quarterback play was, I mean, it was vanilla, but he missed some throws, which is expected. It's the first game, but he also made some good plays. he sat in the pocket a little bit too long. It seemed like I don't know what the game plan going in was for that, but it seemed like sometimes he would stop and think, should I run it or should I throw it? And then when you get in that thought process, when you're thinking about it, that's when you get sacked. And so I feel like that happened a couple times with him. So, but I mean, he looked good. He scored a touchdown. His first touchdown was a first touchdown of the year
Yeah, it
was
was
a carry
nice.
from him.
Nice little run too.
Nice
Yeah.
move. He made some great throws. Braden Willis is an absolutely animal.
Dude, I'm telling you, you know how I've always loved OU tight
Yeah,
ends.
but where's Braden Willis been?
And
He's a senior.
I'm making, dude, he had a pretty decent year last year.
Yeah, I know, but I just think he was so unutilized. I mean,
he probably
because-
was. And I'm telling you, when I see a good tight end for OU, it gets me pumped up. I don't know why, but when I see him, he's all Big 12 for sure, in my opinion, and could be an All-American, in my opinion.
if he keeps going at this rate of what he played against Kent State, I mean,
dude, I mean,
not
he's
Kent State,
blocking,
UTEP.
and I mean, he's just got the build, and Mark Andrews. I mean, he doesn't have the build like Mark Andrews, but still, he's a Mark Andrews and Keith Jackson and the Freemans and all those guys, and I just loved what I saw last year from him, and then I saw the 2 catches and the blocks that I saw that he had. But I love a good OU tight end for some reason, and he's legit, dude. He's going to be a monster to handle.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's all around too. He can block really well, and he's catching passes. Sometimes in the NFL, that's really what they want is a guy that can catch and pass, or not catch and pass, but catch and block. Because how many times? I mean, with Dallas, we typically have a tight end that can catch, and we have a tight end that can block. If you can get a guy that can do both, then I mean you're looking pretty good. And he can. He definitely blocks really well.
Yeah. So, out of 10 overall performance. I know it's UTEP, but is it what you expected for the first game, or did anything like kind of stood out to you, like kind of nervous about this, or I didn't know we were going to be that good at this spot?
No, our defensive line looked really good, but again, it's against UTEP, so they should look good against them. They should be able to just, I mean, they're probably 100 pounds more than the other side is, so it should look good. I don't think anything surprised me. Like I said, it wasn't a flashy game, and I think maybe that's what surprised me because we're so used to it having to be flashy for us to win. But I mean, it was. I mean, the 2 times
just took care of business.
They just took care of business, which is nice to see. It's a relief, honestly. It really is with Oklahoma because I mean, how many times do we wish that like we're going against West Virginia, we're against my birthday in Las Vegas, and we're like, can we not just win a game and comfortably? Me and you have talked about that a lot. Outside of your Central Michigan team or whoever we played last year, Western Michigan. But how many times were we like, can we not just put them away? Like, what happened to the Bob Stoops era where it was okay to beat someone 77-0?
Exactly.
What's wrong with it? And that's what I think I hated about Lincoln Riley is we took the gas off up by 2 touchdowns. And then it's 2 minutes in the fourth, and now you're in a dogfight, and you're trying to pump your guys back up. And is that you?
There goes our famous fire
so
truck.
Loud.
They go by our house a lot.
So yeah,
I think it's a shortcut for him.
I think it would be nice. I think Brent Venables is a nice guy, but I don't think he's nice enough to not beat a team by 60. And I think he's okay with that, which he should be. Let's go out there and beat him. Like, we're not trying to make friends here.
Right, exactly. So, cool. So we got.
Let me
have?
just stop here. I'll take the worst take award for.
Well, we're going to get into that already?
We're just going to jump right into the worst take before we get into our picks and stuff. Yes, I picked Oregon over. I listened to the ESPN hype, and
I wish there was a toilet bowl little deal that I could push and toilet bowl because that was the most horrific. That was the terrible, terrible pick. Probably the worst pick I've ever witnessed in my
yeah,
life.
I'm never getting paid for my picks anymore.
So go ahead and tell us about that pick, by the way. Just remind everybody that in case they missed last week, you took Oregon, and I believe you said straight up
No,
as
I
well.
said I could see Oregon.
You said it won't surprise me if they beat them straight
It
up.
wouldn't have at that time. It would not have surprised me. I was thinking of a Georgia team that's never hasn't won a championship since the '80s. You know, they just won one. What would if anybody's going to have a championship hangover? It's a team like that, you know. And
And the spread was what?
18,
17?
yeah. They won by double
And
that.
what was the score? 49 to
I don't know the
3?
score, to be honest with you.
I think it was
And
49
then
to 3.
I'll give my Uncle Tommy some. I made fun of his pick for Ohio State, and who did they put? Notre Dame.
Notre
And
Dame.
I can't stand Notre Dame. I think they're one of those teams that is ranked high every year, and then they suck it up. And they looked good, and Ohio State did not look as dominant as everyone said that they're going to be. So,
Yeah.
what were my picks? Do you remember? I picked Oregon. Obviously, lost that one. I picked Oklahoma.
That one is just still mind-boggling. So, I mean, it's just laughable. It's laughable, dude. I'm proud of you for showing your face and admitting how horrible of a pick
Hey, when
that
you
was. So-
you win some, you lose some.
Was that your lock, by the way? Was that your 5-star lock? I think it was.
I was by
too.
myself, man.
Yeah,
I was
think
by
it was.
myself.
Yeah, it
I was
was.
doing my own podcast by myself, no help. I had other things going through
So
my
I
mind, but
took-
I had Oklahoma also.
So my 3-star was Oklahoma, which they won. My 4-star was who was my 4-star? I picked who was my 4-star?
I can go find something.
Arkansas. Arkansas was
I
my
didn't even
4-star.
watch that game.
And then my 5-star lost by 2 points. I mean, I had them. They didn't cover. I lost by 2. So I'm 1-1 on 3-star, 1-1 4-star, 0-1 on my.
But
lock.
all together,
So
well, you lost last week. Or week 0. You
No, they
lost
covered.
week 0.
Oh yeah, I did lose weeks. Yeah.
So altogether, I am 2 of, what would that be, 4? You are 2 of 4. Tied up. Right?
Well, I think you should take a 10-point loss, or it should be like 2 and 10.
Did you win your
Oregon.
lock?
I did
Okay.
not.
I was gonna say
I lost
I
it
was
by
gonna
2
say the
points.
lock would be 2 worth 2 points.
So, are we doing our picks now?
Yeah,
or?
go ahead. Give me your first one.
I know you're just itching to figure out what
You
I'm
want me to
doing.
give you my first one then?
My 3-star pick, I'm taking Arkansas -8 at home against Rattler and South.
Carolina. Yeah, he didn't look good.
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. So I'm taking the -8 Arkansas, my 3-star. What's your 3-star one?
So is least star the least likely to happen? The one you're not as comfortable with?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take... This is also my upset of the week. Kentucky over Florida. Florida is favored for 6.5.
And that's at
Florida. It's at
Where's
Florida.
that at? I looked at that one, and thinking
I just
that
don't like it.
if Mark Stoops is going to get it done, this is the time to get it done, and so I
Well,
kind of
I
like that pick
believe
actually.
that Mark Stoops, if he wins another game this year, he becomes the winningest football coach at
At
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Bob Stoops in an
wow,
interview said that he would be at every single game this year for OU except for one game, and I think he's trying to see his brother become the winningest coach. So,
that's cool. Yeah, that is cool. So who's your
oh,
next one?
you
Who's your
want me
four
to go
star?
first?
Yeah, you go first this time.
Okay. I looked at this earlier and I didn't write
Man,
anything.
I thought you were prepared,
I'm going
dude.
to take
You,
Baylor over BYU.
I like that one too because they are
They are.
underdogs, and I'm trying to figure out how in the heck Baylor's underdogs in
I
that game. But then I keep thinking in my
Las Vegas
mind,
knows. Yeah.
Vegas knows what they're doing,
Uh,
so I stayed away from that
BYU is
one. But
favored by 3 at the moment.
it's still mind-boggling to me. Baylor's number
9.
10, and they're high on a lot of people's list, but maybe not very high on
Vegas.
Vegas's
Yeah.
list, which I think I took Baylor's over because I think it was like at 8 or something. Vegas had them at 8 or 9, so I do like that one. But my 4 star is Texas A&M minus 19 over Appalachian State. I think it was. So I've got them as my 4
I lost
star.
connection on
I think
my
I don't.
computer. Hope that doesn't hurt us.
So we've not recording, or
I think we're still recording.
okay. So 4 star Texas A&M minus 19. And my biggest lock, and take it to the bank, if I could go to Las Vegas today, I would cash it in because it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. You ready for it?
Oh, you're taking the Dallas Cowboys over
The
Buccaneers.
Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5 over Tampa Bay at home. Sunday Night Football, first game of the season. Brady does not do well. Everybody says his mind's not on football. Who does Brady have to throw to? This is Dallas's easy. This is the easiest lock there is. Easiest lock there is. Dallas
You're setting
wins.
yourself up for
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am 100% confident in this. Dallas will win this game by at least 7 to 10 points, and I just don't see how they can lose this game. No way. And call it a homer pick, but take it to the bank. You will get rich, and I need some profit off of it.
I
or
will
some
say
commission.
you're going against one of my rules of betting for your team.
I can't help it. When that line came out and I saw Dallas underdogs, I was stunned. I figured Dallas would have been favored by 2.5. Then I maybe not as strong, but this is a straight. Dallas just needs to win, and they're going to win Sunday night. No questions asked. Dallas wins it. Take it to the bank. Winner,
So
winner,
I'm
chicken
also
dinner.
going to do something and against my rules. My lock is Oklahoma favored by 33.5.
I like it too. So
Yeah.
against an 0-1 Kent
Yeah.
State.
And so I think it's it got tricky. Did you see the OU game? You didn't watch it. We're up by how much did we win by? OU?
They barely covered. I think it's by 30.
Yeah, it's 30. I think we're up by 32, and UTEP was actually driving, and with 40 seconds left, and I looked at Aubrey. I said they're about to make some bettors very upset either way. No matter what, there's going to be some bettors out there that is upset, and they threw an interception. I was like, okay, all the people that bet on Oklahoma just cheered really loud.
Just jumped up and down.
Cheered really loud, and all the people that bet on UTEP just got so upset because it looked like UTEP. I don't know what you do in that situation if you're UTEP and it comes down to 5 seconds. Do you bring your field goal unit out, or do you aim for the end zone?
No, I would have been. To me, that's bad taste to kick a freaking field goal with 10 seconds left.
It makes you look like you didn't lose as bad.
I know, but that's still
Yeah,
garbage to me. But so, but it's here. I mean, I'm
I didn't
excited
get.
because
You didn't
lots
give
of
me an
football
upset.
now to watch.
My
Um,
my upset is
I
the
think
bet.
my
So
yeah my upset. I think I had I think it was Dallas
it is an
Jackwagons.
upset, but that's not like they're only favored by two.
I know, but
I
that's
want a
still an
meteor
upset.
one. I would actually say that is a pretty big upset, despite the fact of two.
Like, are you talking upset by straight up win?
Yeah,
I
straight
guess
up
you'd
win,
say.
and it doesn't. This isn't a logical pick. This is who. If there's going to be someone that loses, that is favored either by a lot or higher ranked, who would it be?
Okay, I'll give you one right now.
LSU.
You
I like that one.
USC.
I think that I thought about picking that one. I forgot.
I think USC gets
I was
upset because it's at Stanford, and we'll see
yeah.
how that goes. But of course, the freaking pack, those California teams.
It's not,
I
it's
mean,
not
did you
like
see
it's not like home
UCLA's
field really
crowd?
matters.
I mean, yeah, UCLA's crowd didn't hardly have anybody in the
No,
bleachers,
you know
and
how much
then
you know how
USC
much they
had what
claimed. You
forty
know how much
thousand?
UCLA claimed was 40,000.
No, and I think USC only had 40,
Yeah,
45,000.
they
And
fudged that by
I was
like
like,
30,000.
wow. I mean, how can kids enjoy playing somewhere like that? I just don't get it. But and I think that's what hurts OU in
Yeah.
basketball is
Do
who
you
wants
want
to
to
come to
spend a
OU and
$25 ticket on OU basketball or $25 ticket and go watch a pro team play with the Thunder? So
right, exactly. And you said that several times. So yep, you're exactly right.
I mean to me as a dad now, and you probably could feel this way too. And of course, we're Dallas Mavericks fans, but I feel like you get more of like a kid experience. You're going to get a better experience at the OU game because
Right,
you can sit closer and you
that's
can the
true.
mascots walking around and stuff like that. So as a dad standpoint, I would take my kid to the OU basketball game. Obviously, it's cheaper and their experience is going to be better than if I take them to a packed out pro game.
Right, yeah, true.
All right.
All right, what else we got?
Let's see here.
What do you have on Twitter? Anything on Twitter that you caught your eye this week or?
Not much has really.
Oh, what happened today? I saw
Brent
something today that
Brent
just
Venables said that
blew my.
Gavin Freeman reminds him of Adrian Peterson. So
Yeah, I did see that. But something today, I saw it on Twitter, and I was going to say we need to bring this up in the podcast because it had to do with man, dang it! I knew I should have wrote it down because I was so tired, but I saw it and I was like, man, this is
I usually try to
crazy.
screenshot it, but I haven't been on Twitter as
Did I
much.
did I do that? I might have screenshot it because I no, I didn't. But man, I wish I would have known what it was because that was just something that just popped my eye. Just I was like, wow, can't believe that. So,
I don't got anything either.
but
Let me
can't
go to my
remember
notes
now.
real quick.
I'll have to start. I'll start at the when I see it next time. I'm gonna have to start doing that because I'm getting old and forgetful.
All right,
So
NFL. You already said Dallas is going to win. I like Dallas, and
yeah,
what's
tonight,
tonight? Oh, it's on right now.
tonight, yeah, tonight's the first kickoff for Rams
I
and
don't know. Amazon Prime. I usually have it on, but
is it the Rams and Raiders?
I
Right?
don't know. It's on Prime. I'd have to turn it on.
Man, we're ridiculous. We're not
I'm not a
prepared.
big
We
NFL
both
fan outside of Dallas and OU players.
Bills, Rams and Bills. Bills are up
Hmm.
7-0. That's going to be a good game. And Bills are supposed to be
Yeah,
really
you picked
good
them to go
too.
to the Super
So
Bowl.
I did. Dallas
I
and
know. I've been
Buffalo.
told.
Bring them back. Bring them back the '90s. So, oh, you're the one that sent me that screenshot.
What
Share that
screenshot? Just recently?
about about
Oh,
Dallas and
gosh. That was ridiculous. Let me go find it. All right, here you go. We do this every year with both of our teams, but this is one's pretty long and outrageous. Um,
this
you
was
think it's
weak.
weak? I think it's pretty crazy.
Matter of fact, it is from this dude. Is this the guy that is from
Are
Fox?
you talking about the last time Dallas won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but I'm talking what I just remembered. Is this
I
guy
don't know.
from Fox?
I don't
Is
know.
RJ
No,
that does the rankings?
no.
Dude, that's what I was thinking because he's an
He's from
idiot.
Oklahoma.
I think he does it just to get people riled up, like what's his head
He's
does
from
on
Oklahoma. He
ESPN.
used to
So,
only cover really. He started off on YouTube and covering
well,
OU,
he's
and
an
then
idiot.
Fox signed him. Not a lot of OU fans like him anymore. He is an OU fan, but
So go ahead and
last time the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl, their quarterback was in year 7. LSU lost in their head coach's debut. The Super Bowl was in Arizona. This season, Dak Prescott is in year 7. LSU lost their head coach debut for the first time since then. The Super Bowl is in Arizona.
That's ridiculous. Somebody that
How
can
did they
come up
find
with
it?
that.
Do you think
Just
this? Do you think
absolutely.
he
I
found it,
don't.
or do you think the research team found it and gave it to him to tweet out?
Probably the research team because they do a really good job on
Yeah, it's
some of that
outrageous.
stuff. It's like, man, where do they pull this
Yeah.
stuff out of? But yeah, that's just. But it has to do with that guy that I got upset about his rankings or something that just blew
I
my
don't
mind.
pay a lot of attention
today.
to the.
So
I think this year's been kind of crazy for reporters. I think they're trying to just one up each other on most ridiculous picks possible.
they are.
So
Yeah, and they want to be talked about, and if people just not talk about it, they would. I mean, it's stupid. So, my famous word, stupid. Kind of like your Oregon pick. One more jab at that stupid pick. Should know better. By the way, it was 49-3. Just saying. 49-3.
I'm a gambler.
Well, I hope you didn't put much on that game. No wonder Thea needed $20 the last when we saw her at
She
the
did.
soccer
She
game.
she needs money to eat because I'm
Right? Because Daddy lost the house
2
on the
for
Oregon
4.
game.
Speaking of Thea, I think she wants to be on this episode. So let me call her. I gotta try to do this without yelling. Here, I'll use the sneeze button.
Seems to work. I didn't even know there was a sneeze button on here. So, my little soccer player, Miss Little Sweet Tea.
Yeah, we have a button on our mic. If you press it, it mutes it.
Oh,
Some people call it the
Interesting.
cough button, mute button.
well, you should have coughed several times on your Oregon pick.
And you're close
Just
to
saying.
me sending you or me giving you one of the emojis that you like.
Well, I'm not the one that picked Oregon. I mean, I've never seen a pick get demolished like that in my life. 49-3. And he picked you straight up.
I came on the podcast. Okay, I didn't retire or quit. I came. You want to be on it real quick? Come over here and yell Boomer Sooner.
Sure.
Here. Say go OU.
OU.
Say it again.
OU.
Good job. All right. Well,
You can't see her,
do you
though.
want to be in it? Do you want to be seen? Okay.
I want to see her.
Now say
Hi,
go
pretty
OU.
girl.
OU.
Go Ia. No, go OU. All right.
Go
Let
Ia.
me play us out to you. You can keep talking, Theo, while I play.
All right.
Go Ia.
Go Ia. All right. We'll see you
Yeah,
Monday,
that's
right?
you. That's the bit. That's almost the worst take. Is you? And if Oregon wasn't so bad, you would have had it.
No, I was tired. So